Hello everyone. Boy, it's been a long time, hasn't it? Life has been very, very busy the last few weeks. I have been watching videos here and there, but very distracted with my home at the moment. So I wanted to share with you today a swap I've been working on. And this swap is with the lovely Louisa. Louisa has a channel. It is all about crafts on YouTube. And I will put a link to that in the description box below. But she doesn't do videos, but I do believe she's starting up a Pinterest board and will be sharing some of her work on there. And if I can get a link to that, I will put that also in the description box below. Now, we decided to do a swap a few months ago, and it was due in December. I am a little bit late, although it's still December. I would have liked to have got it off a couple of weeks ago, obviously, but life being life, that didn't happen, and I'm sending it off today. And our swap was for a fabric album, and the album was to be about cottages, English cottages. We were to use earthy, cottagey colours, nothing too bright, no particular style or anything like that. And we were also to make a surprise gift for each other. So this is the fabric book that I have made for Louisa. I did use paper for my images, and that is mainly because I had so much trouble with my printer printing clearly onto the fabric this time around. I just gave up and ended up using a nice quality art paper, and then I've Mod Podged the front. This is the very first time I've used Mod Podge, and I'm not overly sure whether I like it or not. And also on the little sign there saying the cottage. But just to strengthen that front page, I didn't want it, getting ripped or anything like that. And I did a cross-hatch design with the Mod Podge, which I preferred rather than just straight lines, because I probably get those crooked anyway. So this is my front cover, and I just found some images on Pinterest and printed them out. And this is obviously of the front of a cottage, and I've just used all flowers and greenery and vines and things to decorate that front cover, as you can see, with some appliques and some doodad flowers. We'll take it in a bit closer there. These beautiful silk-like pansy flowers as well. I've covered it in a beautiful cottage print fabric. And there's bits of lace under here as well. I think that's a Tresors Deluxe lace there. And lots of little vines and appliques, doodads, some metal pieces. There was a picture of a wreath on the door, and so I just put some greenery around that because I didn't want it to be Christmassy. I just wanted it to be cottagey. So I just put a green leaf using the leaves off this little kind of vine here. I've taken the applique with some flowers down the side here, really pretty, and on the back I've used the beautiful lace, wedding lace, I think it is, from Crafty Irene. Thank you, Irene, for that. It's really beautiful and worked lovely for that. I didn't want to overdo this book. I wanted to keep it fairly flat and simple. In fact, I actually made the book and I didn't like it, so I kind of started again. I didn't like it because all the images didn't look right. They were fabric and they just didn't look right, so I basically started from scratch again and made it again. I've just put a little plaque on the front there just saying the cottage. I think that's about it for the front cover. Yep, some green lace underneath there. Oh, and a little bit of glass tassel beaded trim on the corner there, and I think that's it. And then there's the first double page there, and I've just there were so many images to choose from, it was hard to pick, and I've used some ideas in making this from the wonderful Susie Q, who is Susie Quave, Susie Q Threadworks. She has a blog, but she also had like a fabric book tutorial that I took, and it's not exact how she did it, but I did take pieces from what I learnt and applied it in this book. So thank you for that, Susie, if you're watching. More of these vines, some more appliques under here. I'll just bring it a bit closer so you can see. It isn't overly elaborate, but I didn't want it too fussy. I wanted to try and decorate to, you know, match the image, and I hope I've succeeded at doing that. I have some little doodad flowers and things as well, some beautiful vintage lace and some buttons. I've sewn around the fabric background just haphazardly and pieced different fabrics together. Little dragonfly over there. I think the nice little vintage applique in this corner also. And I think that's it, but as you can see, I have printed those on a nice quality paper, art paper I think it is, but I didn't Mod Podge these because I liked them not shiny. I'm still sort of not sure whether I like that shiny finish or not. Some lovely vintage trim there, and this is the next page, and beautiful applique in the corner. They're pieced together with another one of these pansy-like flowers. This lovely little yellow trim from Seriously Scrapping. I thought it just sort of continued on from the yellow in the flowers there. Nothing too bright, just some more buttons, and once again pieced fabric underneath. And these are just a doily underneath. The pages are covered in a nice old doily to start with. So, and this is the next double page, like that. I really like this page. It's very, very, very simple. I've used a lovely ticking fabric here underneath the image, and I chose just to keep that image very simple because I like it so much. Just some lovely little flowers along the top with some pearls. A nice little applique in the corner with some metal corners just to finish it off. Pieced fabric underneath and a doily, and just this little bit of organza poking out the side there. And this one we've used a piece of a scrap of lace, I think it was missing the centerpiece off it, so I just put a lovely little organza flower in. I've used a little bit of beaded trim on this one to complement the green, and also some of the fringing, I think it's fringing kind of trim, 2 layers of that down the bottom there. We have some lovely little samples of fabric here as well. So, and once again on a doily. And then the last page, because it was to have 6 internal pages, which is what it is. And I actually used my older style of making this book because I much prefer it. I like the way it all lays nicely, and it's just pleasant to work with. So I reverted back to my old style of making the book itself. Another lovely cottage one. This is mainly the garden, as you can see, lots of garden in the picture there, and I just carried it down, making a cluster out of what flowers I had in my stash. Some more of this lovely vine, and I've used a bit of the gold glittered one in this one. I think it looks pretty. There's another coppery gold applique under there, like the sun's shining on it or something like that. Lots of bits of applique and some lace under there between the paper and the background fabric. And that's some nice lace down there, just brought onto the picture itself there. And a few little beaded kind of these stick pin flower things there. And I just put a bit of glitter glue in the center of those just to add a bit of sparkle. Then the last page is of a lovely garden. Looking through the garden gate, I've got this applique here, 2 pieces of applique actually, with the flower and pearls, and just the creepers, you know, the vines creeping up either side of the walkway there, and some doodad flowers mingled amongst those pink roses. You can see the dimension a little bit there. just a bit of fabric sticking out the top with some lace, and once again the background fabric. And that is pretty much it. I love the way it's turned out. I love using all the colour. I think that was a lot of fun. It was nice to sort of use some things that I had that, you know, you don't always get the opportunity to use them when you're doing things that are in whites and creams and things like that a lot. So it was just really nice to be able to use them. And it's yeah, it's quite nice. I like it a lot. Very pretty. And I do love cottages. It was a wonderful subject, you know, topic to do the book on. It was a lot, very enjoyable. So there we go. I hope Louisa likes that, and I'm crossing my fingers she gets it before Christmas, but I just, you know, there's no guarantees that it will get there. By Thursday will be last mailing, won't it? So that is my cottage fabric album for Louisa, and this little gift that I made for her was I made a lovely tassel doll. Yep, lace tassel doll, and there we go. So I just printed out a vintage lady and I sewed her together. See, she's all puffy. I sewed her together. I covered the back in some pretty lace and covered up the workings of her hat and things like that. I sculpted her a little bit as well, just to add a little bit of interest, and just attached laces and flowers and rhinestones and some more vine around her bustly. And I used this old lace here. I tea dyed that, and I just have it curled around and draping down the other side like that. And then I've used some chiffon mesh fabric here. I've used some long tassel trim. I've used some long skinny laces. I've used some wider laces here, and I've just put another couple of different flowers on there also, and a rhinestone, and this beautiful old, well, no, it's probably not old, but it's just interesting old lace, and then just a little offcut here and some more dangle. And I think she looks really pretty actually. And we've just got a little hanger. Just got an applique up the top here under her flowers. So that was my little surprise gift for Louisa. And I made a couple of these, but I can't show you the others because they're for other people. And that is the surprise gift. But I've also I made this a while ago for Louisa because I knew I was doing this one. I put her stocking together for her. You might remember seeing this. This is the one that wasn't for my children. Just hung a couple of strawberries around the jewel there, and that will come off, and I've filled it up. There's a decoration in there. There's a couple of things I've made, and there's some nice little gifts in there for her for Christmas. I've also I made some goodie bags, but I'm not going to show you what's in the goodie bags, but I just wanted to show you them. Very, very simple. Made out of book paper sewn together with a layer of this lovely see-through fabric that Louisa actually sent me anyway a while ago. So you can see the book paper through it, and it's really nice because it's kind of fraying a little bit on the edge too. Use some lovely vintage laces along the bottom and along the top like that. And all I did, it's very simple, everybody probably knows how to do it anyway. Let's not tangle that. So it opens like that, and it opens like that as well, and like you can see in there, but I'm not going to go in there. And I put a little bit of lace there. I attached 2 pieces of lace so that when I fold that over like that, oh, there's sequins there too, I can turn it over to the back and tie it. So there's no, you know, gluing or anything like that where you're going to rip the pretty bag. So she can keep these in there if she wants. So I think there's one full of vintage laces and the other two are probably just, you know, other laces that aren't as old as one of them. So I've put those together for her also. And of course, Louisa was 50 this year. So I've got a little birthday, oh, I'll show you how I did that. Little birthday gift for her, just nothing much, you know, just a token gift. I've put a flower in the center, and that's a beautiful Trésors Deluxe flower. And then I've looped, see that would come off, that comes off. I've just tied some of this lovely beading around with a bow, slipped it over the flower so it sits there and decorates the front prettily. But is, you know, you just take it off. Very simple, so it's all usable for her. So fingers crossed she receives that all by Christmas. If not, it'll be a nice surprise after Christmas anyway for her. Well, not quite a surprise, but you know what I mean. A nice gift. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today, ladies. And I should have a video up maybe in the next day or so of my Christmas tree, because Amanda is doing a Show Me Your Christmas Tree challenge, is it? I don't know if it's a challenge or not. And everyone's showing their Christmas trees, and I think it's nice to see how everybody decorates their Christmas tree, with their little trees or big trees. It's nice to see how people do it all around the world. So I might put a link to that in the description box below also, so if you've got a Christmas tree and you want to share it, you can join in the fun. I think she is doing some sort of a giveaway with it, but that's not my intention of doing that part. I think it's just nice to share. Okay, have a lovely week, have a lovely Christmas if you don't tune in after this video at all, and take care and have a very safe and happy New Year also. Bye.